Hey guys, happy Friday and welcome to our first ever vlog. I am so excited for our Food for Thought Fridays. I am so excited to be here. If you're new here to my page, welcome to Healing Sounds and Energy. My name is Rebecca, also known as Pagan Lioness, and we are here today to just talk about different topics about daily life, being a mom, give you some advice, inspirations, things of that type of nature. And we had a few people throw in some wantings of advice and or topics of conversation to go through, and a bunch of you asked me why I stepped back from TikTok for so long this past 2024 for about 2 to 3 months, why I did that. And I think I'm ready to really come out and talk about that and kind of share my story, if you will. So I would say back in August, I could really feel being suffocated, I think would be the good word. I had a lot of toxic friendships and relationships in my life. I was in a really big transitional piece with my job. I was missing my kids terribly. As you know, they travel to go see their dad in the summer, and there was just a lot of pressure and a lot of expectations that needed to be done, that needed to get followed through with. And you know, I honestly thought that I might have been suffering from depression and anxiety. I didn't know if it was the BPD. There was a lot of things going on. And I know a lot of you know about me, and I'm very open about my BPD. I'm very open about that I have ADHD and things like that. And I think the part that I really underestimated is something that's not talked about a lot, especially in women. It goes for men and women, but especially in women. And it's called ADHD burnout. And looking back on it, I 1000% was an ADHD burnout. And it's more than just being overwhelmed and like feeling there's too much on your plate. The ADHD burnout even takes a physical tone. I gained a lot of weight. My cortisol levels went through the roof. I'm still working with that. You know, I'm in my 40s, so I got to be really aware of premenopausal stuff. You know, abnormal sleep patterns kicked in, basic cognitive functioning. Like, nobody talks about that portion of ADHD burnout. Like, just remembering schedules and just being able to execute things through that I would normally do anytime it'd not be difficult. The sensory overload. Especially for me, and you know, with ASMR, was anything physically being able to touch, being able to move, manipulate. Like, the tactile input from me was just I can't even say the words. It just, I can go back to that place and just, it made my skin was crawling all the time. And then that is with the burnout, that is where like the depression comes in, like the intrusive thought process, the body dysmorphia, that you're not a good mom, like, you're letting your coworkers down, like everything that you can think of, it was going through my brain at that time. And the hard thing and the piece about it is, especially for someone like the mistress, is just the support system that you have with ADHD burnout. You don't even realize that you have a great support system around you, because it's so internally monologued and you're just done. So I think that's the big piece I wanted to talk about, was things that you need to be aware of if you have ADHD or if you're neurospicy and you're beginning that process of burning out, to try to track it, to stop it, and to not feel guilty about asking for help, and to not feel guilty about if you need some time. You know, recently, as you guys know, I was on third shift. I did swing shift. This is my first or my second week back on first shift. And, you know, my son has had some issues and, you know, swing shifting, going all over the place, you know, new supervisors training. And I officially was just like, I feel that feeling again of I'm getting burned out. And it's really good to catch it before it starts. For me, I notice my sleep patterns start to go wonky, and I want to eat all the time. And it's because also that regulation, sorry, I'm stuttering, also that regulation of not being able to modulate how much you're eating. And that is a big indicator too of when your cortisol levels go up and when you're chronically fatigued. You begin to eat a lot because you need an energy source from somewhere. So I'm really happy and proud of myself that I've caught this before it got to a point of no return, if you will. Do I have all the answers for it? No. Am I documenting this through my journey with you guys? Yes, absolutely. Have I learned to reach out to people to talk to them more about when I feel that burnout coming? Absolutely. And, you know, I think that's why I'm so excited to be doing these vlogs moving forward and just documenting my day-to-day life, because I think it'll help me also look back onto where I was, you know, like, so let's say it's like June or July from now and I'm like, God, what am I doing? And I look back where I was in February and I'm like, this is where I am. This is where I'm going. This is what I'm doing. So I'm really excited about it. The advice that I can give with ADHD burnout, or if you know someone who has ADHD, and you see them starting to burn out, is just be patient. Just to have kindness and understanding. And offer assistance from afar. So like, the mistress does a lot of things for me that he thinks I don't know, but I know. And it'll just be little things like, do you have your wallet and your jacket in this? Or do you have, like, did you make sure that you put your purse here? Oh, don't forget, you know, you should put that over there. Big thing I have is forgetting where I put things and just the organizational piece. Or when I'm coming to get ready for a live with you guys, he always has my tea and my water ready for me every time. That's one less thing I have to remember in motor planning of what I have to do. He allows me to have my doom piles all over the house because he knows that's how I organize and how I do things. I think he allows me to absolutely be my eccentric self. And in those little like coping mechanisms, tools, those things that he also allows me to do, and I mean allowing because it does cause chaos to a non-neurospicy person. It does cause a little bit of like, woo, to people that don't have ADHD and how we process and do things, like how I'll be doing 6 projects at once. So that's what I mean when allow, because it does sometimes cause him a bit of extra work, I think would be a good way to put it. Sorry, mistress, but it's true. Because he allows me to do that, that is a way of me having my like dopamine fix, my release, which helps me not burn out and overdo it. Now, with ADHD, that's also where I'm like supersonic, where I have to learn to be patient with him because I'm doing 12 things at once. I'm 6 paces ahead of the game, high pressurized. Conflict and things do not aggravate or stress or upset me. You know, and it's just that I have that high cognitive level of thinking too, whereas for somebody, it might take them a little bit longer to process something out. I'm already done with it. So it's really nice yin and yang. And I think the fact that he, for the first time me ever really going through an ADHD burnout as an adult and cognitively recognizing it, and having a partner that has been very supportive and was not pressuring me to come back to lives, was not, even though he knew that would be best for me, the fact that he allowed me to do my therapies and working through these processes and then supporting when I was ready to step back up to the plate, I really do truly feel blessed. So, mistress, thank you for that. So that's my story on why I took some time. Definitely had ADHD burnout. There are a ton of resources that you can go to learn more about it. If you have any questions about yourself, if you're thinking about that somebody else, your partner that might be dealing with it. Again, they normally shown as signs of depression or anxiety, but it can just be basic burnout. And I think it's really important to see the two different sides of it, because treatment for those things are completely separate. Yes, sometimes when you're depressed, you can't take a shower, as well as when you're burnt out, you can't take a shower just simply because you can't process the steps of going through it. So that's just one example of many. But for our first vlog, I hope you guys liked it. I'm trying to keep them at around 10 minutes. I know this one will go a little bit over just because of the introduction and of everything here. Comment below on other topics and things that you would like to talk about and discuss. Might do some cooking ones too, just throwing a bunch of stuff of what's me, what my life is, and how we're going about things. And I just thought that this was a good one just to first start the process. So I love and appreciate you always, guys. And as we always say, through healing, sounds, and energy, I love you. I appreciate y'all. And I will see you guys later on this evening for the You of the Tube Live. Take care, besties.